I need to talk about something, you know, and this is prevalent on social media, especially. It's more in your face there, and you can see more the demographics of the differences showing up, you know. Like the arguments and the divisions that we have. I need to address this and maybe bring this to the collective attention. How do I begin? Let's start here. Before you are a communist, you are a human being. Before you are a Republican or Democrat, you are a human being. Before you are a Christian or atheist, you are a human being. Before you are a man or a woman, you are a human being. And before you are a human being, you are a divine spirit. Okay? Do you recognize the tiers and the branch off that happens, that occurred here in the progression of the categories and identities that I mentioned? Think of it as a tree with branches. Your tree trunk is the divine essence, the divine spirit that you are, which is the consciousness before you took on human form. Then you became a human being. And with a split brain into left and right hemispheres, and it's in this split consciousness of the split brain where we formed all of our perceptions. Then we were split into male and female, just like the brain is split into left and right, or masculine and feminine. Physically we were split into male and female, and all down the line these splits keep happening because we suffer from amnesia of the conscious mind, right? So as we are identifying with all these subgroups, these sub-branch offs, it gives us more and more things to fight and argue over. All because we have forgotten what we are at the root, right? We keep looking at the branches and the stuff that grows on the branches by not seeing that we all have a common root. So let me say again, you are first of all a divine soul. Secondly, you are a human being. Then you have adopted all of the differences through your cultural and societal and traditional programming. Then you identified with that programming and with the ideologies of that programming. And this is what has divided the human race. We have to remember again that we're not all these split branches, that we really at the core are all the same, right? In a comment today where the difference between men and women was highlighted, I made the comment again that I do not personally identify with the assigned gender roles. And that's not in the sense of transgenderism, it's just in this consciousness of I am so much more woman, so much more than a man. these identifications are so small and they keep us so limited, especially when we transact with one another, because we transact on the basis of these identifiers. How would we transact if we neutralized the division between men and women and thought of ourselves as people, as human beings, instead of sexual beings, right? You would relate to one another on a completely different level, not the sexist level. You could relate more on the intellectual level, right? On the rational level. And you could respect each other for what you are as a human being rather than a woman or a man, right? It's too limiting. That's why I don't like identifying with all of these sub-roles and sub-characters and sub-identifications. I know who I am at the root. Primarily, I'm a divine soul. And I engage with life from that awareness. Not from my petty, small awareness of a woman or a man, the gender role, or what my religion is, or what my political leanings might be. Those are small potatoes, but we make a big deal out of that because our identities are tied up in these small realities, right? So if you were to zoom out back into the identity of a human being, and more so into a soul being, a spirit being, you would access a lot more intelligence and insight than what is available to you in your small box of, let's say, communism, or, the political leanings of conservative, etc. Those boxes are so small. And our boxes keep clashing with each other because it's small-mindedness. If you knew you were a much bigger person, a much bigger being, you could invite the intelligence of that greater consciousness, right? So, anyways, I thought I should share some thoughts about that and give you something to think about.